Hey, my friends, happy Memorial Day. Derek here from Bomb Socks, back with another week of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ, and as always, we do it one bite at a time. Guys, we're covering the book of Judges today. Now, if you ever read the book of Judges, I've always made the joke that if the book of Judges were made into a movie, for one, it would be rated R for all kinds of reasons. It would be violence and sexual content and probably language. It would be a rough one. It would most likely be directed by Quentin Tarantino because it's a very lawless, a very violent type of atmosphere as you read through the book of Judges. Now, you'll see why I say it's lawless, because all you got to do is go to the very end of the book of Judges. Judges chapter 21, verse 25, the very last verse shows you kind of what this book has been all about. In those days, there was no king in Israel, all right? So that lawless idea. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. And so you know how if that is the way people are living, things are not going to go well. And you see that all through the book of Judges. In fact, if you go to Judges, the topic of Judges in the Bible dictionary, it gives you kind of an idea of what this book is about. It says this name was given to a period of history between Joshua, which we just read about last week, and Saul, who we'll be reading about later on, extending over some 200 years, marked by disorder, idolatry, and foreign oppression. The judge was more than a civil officer. He was generally a military leader as well, and his right to lead rested on the fact that in the eyes of the people, he was the strongest and best man for the purpose. Now, faith in God was always the secret of success. That's never changed. But as a rule, the judge was more of a fighter than a preacher. And so you've got someone there who is the military leader, someone who's going to come in and really just the strong person who's going to come in and help you defeat the enemy. And that's all good, but I do also want to focus, and you know how I brought this up before, the four-letter phrase WWJT, which I've brought up before. Where was Jesus today? One of the tricks is to try to figure out how to find Jesus in the book of Judges. And so we're going to try to do that every single day as I go through this message with you. To help me with that, I love the introduction to the Come Follow Me for this week. One of the things it says is, we all know what it's like to make a mistake, feel bad about it, and then repent and resolve to change our ways. But in some cases, we forget our earlier resolve, and when we face temptation, we may find ourselves making the mistake again. This tragic pattern is typical of the Israelites' experiences described in the book of Judges. We're going to talk about that specifically tomorrow. Influenced by the beliefs and worship practices of the Canaanites, whom they were supposed to drive out of the land. The Israelites broke their covenants with the Lord and turned away from worshiping him. As a result, they lost his protection and fell into captivity. You're going to see that message as well all through this week. And yet each time this happened, the Lord gave them the chance to repent and raised up a deliverer, a military leader called a judge. Not all of the judges in the book of Judges were righteous. You'll see that. But some of them exercised great faith in delivering the children of Israel and restoring them to their covenant relationship with the Lord. These stories remind us that no matter what has led us away from Jesus Christ, he is the Redeemer of Israel and is always willing to deliver us and welcome us back to him. You know, as you go through the whole book of Judges, I do want you to think about a couple of themes. I want you to see about who it is you associate with, because it seems like when the Israelites associate with the Canaanites and all the others, they tend to fall into those behaviors. Like I said, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But also this power of covenants. You're going to see the importance of keeping that covenant. And those two themes, as you go through that, you're going to find Jesus Christ in the book of Judges. One little thought that just came to me. I had a friend send me this just this morning, and it totally reminds me of what I just read to you from the Come Follow Me. It's a cool thing. I've seen it floating around all the social media. It says, if you think you've blown God's plan for your life, rest in this. You, my beautiful friend, are not that powerful. I think that's a great statement. And so you keep in mind this idea of who you associate with and the covenants you've made with God as we go through this book of Judges, and you'll see some great stories and you'll find Jesus Christ. And I am grateful for that. So let's dig in and have some fun with it this week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for sharing these messages. We are so grateful that you do that. If you haven't already, please go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel themed socks at bombsocks.com. And you guys have a great day. Godspeed, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.